What's Up Wednesday, where we talk about everything mental health. So welcome. I know some people are getting storms on other parts of the world. Some people, like today, it's been raining in Georgia. So thank you so much for tuning in this week, where we talk about, again, everything mental health. We talk about parenting. We talk about togetherness as far as African American women, children, uplifting one another. We inspire Black women who have came before us. We honor them. We carry their torch. I am my sister's keeper. This week, our American treasure is Miss Opal Lee. She stands alone. Usually I have two people that I'll talk about, but this week, Miss Opal Lee, you're going to see why. This week, she's the only one. She stands. She walks so we remember. Okay, it all started in Fort Worth, Texas, June 19th, 1938. Opal was 12 years old. Her family had just moved to their new home in the previous white neighborhood. Over 500 white descendants on their homes, and they burnt down their home. So over 500 people burnt down their homes. Things like this don't leave your soul. This reminds me, because my home birth town is East St. Louis, Illinois, and as it was a riot in 1917. So it's a lot of places, things that remind you. Ms. Opal became a teacher and an advocate, community organizer in Fort Worth, who spent her life fighting for low-income families, affordable housing, dignities to the neighborhood. There was one particular thing that she could not get over. You know, you got that gut feeling, and there's some things you're like, you know what, I have to do this. And that was, she called to action Juneteenth. So did you know that Miss Opal Lee is the reason that we are celebrating Juneteenth this week? Okay, let your light shine through. Miss Opal did. So 2016, Miss Opal began walking. She began at 89. So some of you guys out here that 30, 40, 50, and 60 years old, this lady started her walk at 89 years young. And soon the crowd joined her. For 1.7 miles, she walked the famous walk every Juneteenth. It's in honor of the 2.5 years that Texas did not know that slavery had ended. Okay? So the Emancipation reached Texas, enslaved people after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Okay? Get us of that. Every step was intentional. So when we talk about being intentional about a lot of different things, Miss Opal was very intentional. She never forgot when she was 12 years old when those white people came and burnt down her house at 12. Can you imagine a little scared little girl just scared, and these people burnt down her house? So Opal petitioned Congress with 1.5 million signatures demanding freedom, recognition of Juneteenth. Year after year, Opal didn't stop. On June 17, 2021, she got a call from President Joe Biden to come to sign the National Independence Day Act into law. At the time, Ms. Opal was 94 years old. Can you imagine? She walked for 5 years before it went. Lady was 95 years old when she got a chance to witness this. With joy in her heart, after she witnessed the signing, she just went into a victory dance. A victory dance, the dream that she carried for decades, she saw come true. Can you imagine? That's why we fight. As of Juneteenth, 2024, Ms. Opal Lee is still walking the 1.7 walk. She expressed that the federal holiday is just a start, that freedom is a moment. It's a continuous practice, constant taught. Never forget, Miss Opal Lee was the same little girl who watched the mob burn down her home when she was 12 years old. Now 82 years later, That is not just Black history. This is the best story ever told. It's because of Miss Opal that we have the second federal Black history holiday. We thank you, Miss Opal. You are a phenomenal woman. Okay? So, we are going to talk about a teachable moment, the World Cup. I know everybody has saw the World Cup. I could not do this show and just not forget how the Republican of Congo came walking through, okay? Showing us the African dignity and respect and poise and the way they came in. Now, some people may say, that don't know their history, may say, oh, they copied off of Coming to America. Come on, guys, let's put on our thinking caps. They did not copy off of America, that Coming to America, the movie, when they probably did a lot of research and they copied the movie Coming to America, right? So you had a little shoulder part. They came with dignity. It made it so good to be a Black person. I always feel good, but those dudes came in for the World Cup, baby. They was on assignment. They was intentional. They like, we coming to represent. Ain't nobody sagging. Ain't nobody looking crazy. Everybody dignity, haircut, hair poised, looking amazing. Yes, if you haven't saw it, continue. Senegal also represents, they represented the cream and money green, okay? Cote d'Ivoire. They also represented their well in their native colors of it's like a burnt orange sunrise with white shirts, white pants, and the money green as well. We are the people of color, okay? Remember when I talked about, we got to get into our color scheme, because we come from color. We love bright colors. We love the yellow. You see, I got my orange on, got my little yellow fingernails done. We come from color. And actually, color makes you feel amazing when you wear bright color. How did you feel when you saw them walking in? I mean, you ain't even got to look at the World Cup. It's on every social media page showing those brothers coming in, okay? So, like I say, see beautiful colors. Go to YouTube and see the beautiful countries. See for yourself, okay? And even when I went to, it's good to know that you see these people coming and they're not coming in looking like they're coming out of a jungle or whatever. They're very civilized people. So I truly believe that this is the turning point of Africa and African Americans coming together as one, seeing each other as one. I truly believe this is definitely the turning point, okay, of people saying like, that's not how they, they dress like this. Oh yeah, they got that. Yeah, the ignorance is real, okay? So make sure you go, like I said, you tune into 154 on YouTube, and also go to YouTube and watch the different, just put in a different country. Just put in any country, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Congo. Learn those different countries and learn what they do. And also Bars Cujo, which is half from Ghana and half German, is planning a trip this August. So Google him and find out what you have to do, because actually this is June 17th, so his trip leaves in August. So you need to hurry up and get those passports, because baby, you can pay to get them expedited too. You can get them in 2 weeks. You can get them, 2 weeks is probably the max, but get those passports. Go travel the world. This should show you, when you would look at the World Cup, how easy it is to just see your own people. And I'm sure you recognize people who look like people in America. It's like, oh my God, that person looks like my cousin, Joey. My cousin, no, we're not Joey, we ain't got a lot of Joey, but looks like my cousin, okay? I remember when I went to Nigeria, I definitely looked like someone as well. They also almost tried to kidnap the sister. To my sister, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But my topic for this week, guys, is time. When you sit back and you see all these different things that's going on, how many dreams have you had that you put on hold because you got busy? You have to be intentional. And sometimes we forget. We start a project, then we forget all about it, because some with the kids, some with your job, but your personal thing. You have to make sure that you put an alarm so you could do it every day, every morning to work on things that you want to work on. Because you will sit back and let it be a whole week, and you be like, you know what, I just started my own business. I bought the stuff, and then, you got to remember those things. This week, let your light shine, okay? What does that mean? Okay, remember what Oprah taught us. Perseverance, never stop believing. She never stopped believing that the Juneteenth would become a holiday. She had to do something in remembrance, okay? Like I said, start a podcast, start a business, places to go and visit. Just do something. It is time. You don't want to just sit back and say, you know what, I see all these beautiful things going on, and then all of a sudden, you're not doing anything. So go out, jump, like somebody had a bug. Like I said, simply living more bold. You know, you sit home, you come home every day, you do the same thing, you cook, like somebody was saying, I hate cooking on Mondays. Well, hell, to me, don't cook on Monday. Order out or eat some leftovers. How about that? Most people cook on Sunday if they have a family. So don't do things that you really don't want to do. You don't have to do. You know what I mean? And speak up for yourself. When you feel like you're being disrespected, speak up. You know? You don't have to be disrespected. Okay, it's time part 2. Stop asking for permission to be yourself. Once you get to a certain age, you know what? Kick that off. Just get that off and do what you need to do for you. Because like I always say, when you're 6 feet under, you won't have nobody to blame but yourself. That what you didn't do, what you wanted to do, and like I always say, also get the drama out your life so you can think well. Surround yourself, your environment, with positive people. You know when something's not right. You know when someone is positive or negative and always coming with that negative crap. So always remember, surround yourself. Okay? Age is not a limit. You see, Oprah was 89 years old when she started walking to have Juneteenth of national holiday. 89. She is 94 years old when it came into law, okay? So don't tell me what things, just think of some of the accomplishments that you have done. And you was like, you know what, I didn't think I could do that. Other people who started different things. I know I have to keep saying it, like most of my shows I do repeat because sometimes people don't believe they can do it. So you got to be like, I heard you, girl, and I'm got to be like, okay, well then do it. Do something. Do not leave this earth not fulfilling your purpose. Okay? The world needs your wisdom and your experience. Some people went through so many things, and I remember talking to a girl, and I was just actually talking to her, having some coffee, and she actually was no more seats, so she sat there. And I was just talking about, she was asking me about my kids or whatever, and I was just saying that my son was going to college, and I was really proud of him. And from the day one, I always spoke positive things into him. I always said she was a genius. I always said you could do it. Always. And she was like, oh, my God, you know what? I tell my mom all the time that when she used to talk to me when I was little, like, you so dumb, you don't know what 2 plus 2 is. And I just cannot imagine someone's mom saying that. But I know it is parents who say that. But I want to say now, can we say right now to stop it? And even when we hear push and, you know, tell that parent, hey, that's not okay. Especially little brown kids. Because guess what? Like I told her, the world is going to tell him what he's not. But I'm going to be able, his parents going to be able to tell him, his sibling, his circle is going to be able to tell him what he is. Okay? So when you surround yourself with 99.9 positive reinforcement, that little 1% ain't nothing. You be like, girl, I don't know who you talking to. And my son, he probably like, I don't know, because my mama done told me this, my mama done told me that. I'm not that. I am a genius, and I am a scholar. Okay? So remember that, because we are our children's first teachers. Okay? We cannot explain it. If your parents didn't do what you thought, or you didn't like how they parent you, you have a chance with your kids to do better. If you didn't parent your kids well, then you also have a chance this second to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I was going through a lot. And it's parents that go through a lot. So a lot of single parents, single mothers, probably number one, who are scared because they used to be in, you know, with someone who helped them, and they scared, so sometimes they say things that they shouldn't. You know what I mean? So make sure that, you know, you see your parents, first of all, as humans, that they go through this life as well. Because sometimes people don't even see their parents as they was human, they was going through some stuff until they gone. So know that your mom, your dad, they're just human too, and they just figuring out life as well. But the number one thing is, I say, is no negativity. No negativity, because like I said, the world will tell our little brown kids, and we have to make sure that we reinforce at any time. I don't care if I don't care who I see, what child I see. I'm gonna always make sure that I leave a positive imprint. Something I'm like, oh, that's so good. You know, have a great summer. You know, you could do it. Whatever they try to tell me they can do, because the thing about it is so many other people go out there try to tell them what they can't do. So we have to make sure that we're very conscious, and to make sure that we let our kids know that you could do anything that you put your mind to. Okay. Okay. So, you know how sometimes people like, I'm scared to do things, I don't want to. But remember when you first start driving? Remember when you first start driving, you'll just go down this particular street, you'll just go this one direction, you'll turn at this one corner, then all of a sudden you say, you know what, I think I can get on the freeway, then you in the slow lane, right? When you in the slow lane, then you're like, maybe I can get in the middle lane. That's building courage, that's building confidence, okay? That's how my whole life, right, doing things. I remember Garland, Miss Jennifer, who used to live next door to a friend. I remember when she first started driving, and she always would say that she was scared of them big big rigs, trucks coming up beside her. And sometimes they do get very aggressive, and they know they're very aggressive, especially when it rains and that rain just pour on your windshield. They do that on purpose. But I just remember as a little girl, Jennifer saying that, Garland's mom. And when I got older, you know, it kind of was in my head, but then I'm like, I'm going to defeat this. I'm going to go real slow. And I know, like going through, when I used to drive to California through the Grapevine, they call it 5, and them big rigs, baby, they was not playing with you, but they were good for keeping the wind off of you. But just to say, I found my courage and I moved on. And there's a lot of things we have to step out on just faith and just, you know, step out and do it. And we were like, what were we scared about? You know, the freeway, what was we scared about? You know, I don't think I was even scared to travel to another country. I don't know. I know I was just ready. Even before I even met my husband, I always was like, I wanted to go to Africa. I didn't really know where I was going to go, but I always knew where I was going to go. So when I got the chance to go, I was ready to go because I just wanted to see more. But then also I think my mother, she planted a seed that said that the little town of East St. Louis is a very small part. It's a big world out there. Go see it. So I always kept that in mind. And she put us on a plane when we were really small, and my kids got on a plane even when they was younger than me. I think my first, she got on the plane at 2. My second was like 1. I think my son was 4. So expose your children to things, and don't let your fear be their fear. Do not let your fear be their fear, okay? Because it's a whole different thing. Let them go out there, pray on the girl, and go ahead. And you don't have to be perfect to start. Just start. You know, people are like, I got to have this, I got to have that. People in different countries barely have anything, but they succeed. I've seen they succeed on nothing. So you don't have to have everything. Just do it. That's the thing, is just get started. Get started researching. Get started looking. What would it look like? What would it take? That's all you do. So don't have, like I said, don't have no big regrets. Okay, so I got a question. What is one thing you always wanted to do but you haven't started? I know it's writing a book, and I've started a million times. I got a couple of chapters, but I need to fill them in. What else would you know what I want to do? Because I love me some music, baby. Yes, I do. I'll be up late, okay, on TikTok. Got me a couple little DJs that I got on. When they come on, baby, last night I was up to like 2 o'clock in the morning watching DJ X Quiz. She's a bad mama jamma. Her fro, baby, is everything. But anyway, I love music, and music is just so soothing, so relaxing. So guess what? I think I'm going to go and I'm going to be a DJ in a couple months, so y'all going to see. I'm going to do it all, okay? But that's one thing I always said, that would be my next job. I thought about that probably with Tom Joyner, because I just used to love to hear him and how much fun he had and how music just changed people's life. And you know, from you be sad and you play a song, you be like, whoa, they is jamming up in here. It just changed your whole mood. I truly believe that you can write a book on music, on your playlist. From the oldies, from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. You remember everything you used to do, whatever. I ain't gonna talk about Freaknik, but all that old stuff, okay? The Oakland Army Base, for all you guys who ever went to the Oakland Army Base, which it was a club in Oakland. So what's holding you back? Fear? No. What you need to do tonight, June 17th at 7:18 Eastern Standard Time, is get started doing something. Don't just sit around and don't do nothing. Don't just come home and be like, okay, and you go back to work. Fill yourself with something you want to do, okay? Okay, what's the small steps you could take towards your dream? Like I said, start researching. Start seeing how much things are going to cost, what it's going to take. I know I take a lot of investment classes. I'm taking some digital marketing classes. I'm doing a lot of little things over here because I'm like, you know what? That keeps your mind sharp, especially at 62, okay? So keep your mind sharp. Keep inspiring yourself and others. When you hear your girlfriend say, you know what, girl, I would love to do whatever, encourage her and be like, you know what, girl, what we need to do, or just start researching it for her. It's like, you know what, girl, I knew you always wanted to do it, and you good at this, or whatever. So, hey, here goes a little research. Let's get started. Let's go. Who inspires you to let your light shine? I hope it's your circle. These are just some questions. I hope it's your circles. My cousins now are big contributors to me, my big cousins. They always support me. I love them so much. Michelle, Terry, Rod, so many others, but those are the main older cousins that really, they doing their thing and I'm doing mine, but they always have time to encourage me and just tell me how proud they are of me. So make sure you always line yourself with positive people, okay? 99.9, you could do it. You just look around, go through your little contacts and be like, you know what, who really inspires me, okay? Who really is the person who comes in always positive? Those are the people that's in your corner. Don't go with somebody like, girl, I don't think you could do that. Well, I don't know. Like my pastor be like, I don't know, girl. Ain't nobody never did it. But you, okay, that's it right there. So it says our women in our 60s, we live and we learn, we survive, we grow. The seasons is not always slowing down. It's about stepping fully into who you were created to be. You still got life. You see Miss Opal. When I research these things, when I research Miss Opal, I was like, oh my God, I'm 62. This lady is 89 years old, and she still had stigma. She still was persevering. She still had dreams to fulfill at 89 years old. She is 94 years old. Well, she's probably older than that because, let me see, she's 96, right? Because that was 2024. She was 94. But just imagine how some people are just sitting back waiting to die. I don't understand it because, that's how I figure. If you ain't doing nothing, some people like, I worked all my life. I don't want to do nothing. Okay, no, now it's time to do something for yourself. Something to do, something that you always wanted to do, but you put it there because you was a father, you was a mother, and you didn't have time to do it because you was taking the kids here, taking them there. What is that? Dig it out. Dig it out that case and go and you do it, okay? It's time to do your dream because when you lay down 6 feet under, I do believe the only person you have to blame is yourself, okay? So, don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Like they always say, don't. People got a problem with that. Women got a problem with when they married or when they in relationships that they don't want to. That ain't the person for you. Keep it moving. Keep it moving, honey. So let the light shine. The dream you've been carrying for years may be waiting for one thing. Your decision to begin now. June 17th, 2026. Okay? So, call to action this Wednesday. Write down one dream you've been postponing and take action towards it. One phone call, one email, one video, one step. Let your light shine. Okay, so you guys know also that we are doing a book, monthly book club. The book is called Black AF History. I always want to say African or whatever. But history, the unwhitewashed story of America. It is amazingly good. So get that book. We'll resume talking about it next week. Also, I want to give a tribute, a shout out to all the fathers. Happiest Father's Day. Because I always talk about African American women and mothers and being mentally strong. But we also have to make, and it's essential, we also have to make sure that our black men are strong too, because they are fathers parenting our children. So I want to make sure that we give a big shout out to fathers, grandfathers who are there for their daughters and granddaughters. They are their first love. I mean, they teaches you how to communicate, how to be in good relationships, how to speak up for yourself, how to be like, no, I ain't taking that, how to be confident, how not to look for love in other places, to thrive, okay, to unconditional love. I mean, because I do believe I have brothers and I have male cousins. I have 2 brothers and I have 6 boy cousins that's older than me, and then I have other boy cousins. But I'm just saying, growing up, they always was very confident, gave me confidence and everything. So I never really had to look for love somewhere else, if I like you or whatever. But I'm saying, when you have all the confidence and your father, uncles and stuff tell you how beautiful you are, you don't go look for that because you have that confidence. It's not arrogant. It's just like, I know. So somebody say, oh yeah, you're beautiful. It's not like you want like, oh, tell me more. No, you got a lot of that before I met you. Okay, I already know this. So the unconditional love, feeling love for who you are. Okay, as a woman, and girls need that because they end up looking for love in other places, giving their body to men, thinking that they're going to get the love that they didn't get from a father or uncle or somebody like that, because statistics, I got to bring those statistics in there, says when a girl is 13 years old and she has a male figure in her life, her uncle or grandfather or father or cousins, male cousins, that take time with her, she does very well in relationships. 13 years old. Statistics, psychology statistics says that. So I hope for the fathers who are here, the grandfathers who are here, the uncles who are here, that they grab their niece, their granddaughters, and they instill confidence in them. They tell them how beautiful they are, how they can make it in life. A man is an asset. He's not a necessity, okay? But, make sure that they know that they are the prize, because I think a lot of these people out here, some of them thinking that they the prize. I don't know. They got it twisted. I thought the woman was the gift, okay? So I'm just saying, it gives open communication. That girl, when she has a communication with her dad, with her father, with her uncles, then, she has no problem speaking up in a relationship. She sees a red flag. She knows her worth. So she doesn't have to go looking or, just stay in relationships that's not good for her. So that's the part of male relationships, okay? The respect. When the father, uncle, grandfather respects, and like I said, I saw my grandfather, I saw my dad, I saw my male cousins taking care of their wives and their girlfriend. I don't know what it looks like to take care of a man in a household, or what, I don't know what it looks like. Not saying give and take, but use my car, pay my, no, I don't know what that looks like. Thank God I didn't see that, and my daughters didn't see it either. So, and when you see that, that's just a lot of women, they go and they think they got to buy or you use your car. Doesn't mean they own car. You got a car. I don't understand that, okay? So make sure we understand that you are the prize, Miss Thing, and make sure, men, that you let them know. Also, let's see, got a couple other things. Fathers show daughters the standards of dating, getting the work done. So I was on a call today. It's called For Us. It's a motivational call every Wednesday. It starts about 8:30 on Wednesday, and it ends sometime about 1 o'clock. But this one was a phenomenal. It started off, it always starts off good with some church music, gospel. But they talked about on the call, it was, Father's Day is going to be Sunday. So they let the men talk. And it's, oh my God, so many men. It's 378 people on this call today. And sometimes it's 450. But today it was 378. But these men, this one guy was really phenomenal because he really opened up himself and he really cried about being a man and almost giving up, not like committing suicide, but just in his job that he was actually doing. And then, but he had came to the meeting last week and he got inspired and he got motivated because it's two African American males that runs this meeting every Wednesday. It has been a year and a half now that this meeting has been going on. But what I want to express is I felt so good because, you know, my background is psychology, mental health. I felt so good. We must have heard about maybe 15 men because the meeting went on till like almost 1 o'clock, but we was like, we don't care. All the women was like, we don't care. We want the men to be able to express how they feel and let it out. This is a safe place, okay? Because some men, it's like, you know, they married, they don't want to, you know, if they showing like they can't do it or they tired or whatever, then it shows a sign of weakness, but where are they supposed to let that out at? You know what I mean? So these men talked about that, the history, they cried. Some of them, you know, a lot of them cheered. They talked about being fatherless children, and they wanted to be better fathers to their children. One guy said, oh my God, he said he had an assignment as a father, and he didn't even know how to carry out the assignment. In other words, he didn't have a figure that he could see, and he has 4 boys. So I hope I'm quoting because I know you probably listening or will be. But it just goes to show that black men need help too. They need support, and that we're all here. We all out here like that, okay? So I just love hearing the positive statements, the statements from men, the quotes. They was quoting scriptures. It was just so enlightening. It felt so good to just be able to, for them black men to just let their hair down and have the space to be able to let their hair down. So I thought that was just phenomenal. And like they always say, hop on and hop off. I mean, hop on and be heard. So in other words, be heard and hear things, because those two African American guys, they always got a gym. They always got some mental stuff, positive mental reinforcements to help you, you know, in your job, in your business. So I commend them for that. You say, I just love that group. I don't care how long it is. So today I want to express my gratitude, and I want to talk about my friend who has been a friend for a very short time, but we have created a bond. And you know, when you have a sister-friend bond, you don't have to know each other for a long time. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, I know somebody for 15 years. But you know what? I probably just known her maybe a little bit over 2 years. And I just want to express her perseverance, her power. I'm so proud of her for, she just finished her chemo. And I just want to say for her bravery, her strength, keeping her dignity, you know, even losing her hair, she still kept her head up high, wearing her hat with her makeup on. I mean, it's like I see so much strength from her, and I just want to say, keep my friend in your prayers because she finished it. And I want to say thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Always, always remember that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. And join me on all platforms such as live Facebook every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, IG, TikTok, and also YouTube. One word, Mardissa Ann. This show will be on YouTube the next day on Mardissa Ann. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Blessings to infinity and beyond. Thank you, thank you.